You know, there's just something about a blonde girl who's tough, assertive, and independent. You can feel the force awaken with those glowing yellow eyes. Nope, I'm not talking about Blonde Blazer, but Lana Beniko from the Star Wars Old Republic MMORPG. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Lana Beniko is a companion that you get to play with in the SWTOR game. She's a Sith Lord, even though at first glance, her demeanor is more like a Jedi. In a galaxy full of Sith Lords running amok in the galaxy, from bloodthirsty necromancers to power-hungry politicians with dreams of power and world domination, Lana Beniko is a breath of fresh air, simply because she's different. Her goals, her motivation, what makes her unique as a Sith. She never wanted power, but rather to deepen her knowledge and understanding of the Force. Her philosophy, strength through unity with others, in stark contrast, in a governmental body which operates almost entirely on selfishness and cunning. But even with that in mind, Lana Beniko isn't that deep of a character. That's right, just because she has a different point of view, it does not necessarily make her a morally appealing or compelling character. The thing is, the Old Republic game trilogy is quite the mixed bag when it comes to Star Wars philosophy as a whole. The first two games were clearly made with a single player in mind with a huge replayability factor, where your choices have lasting consequences on the main story and influences your side companions as well. From the simple question of love, romancing Bastila or Kaf in the original KOTOR game, to the rather mind-bending questions of the second, the fact that you can come back and still be reminded or perplexed by it is something wonderful. The Old Republic massive multiplayer online game, on the other hand, has clearly different goals in mind, so the depth of the story isn't as well thought out for a live service game. I would say that the base game does give some interesting debates and dialogue, particularly with Kira Kassen, who has a lot of dialogue regarding the importance of the Jedi and the Republic. Neat stuff. The expansions gave us likes of Lana Beniko and Theron Shan, and let's be real, they may disagree with you in dialogue and whatnot, but they always end up being yes men either way, seemingly incapable of independent thought, as you are the only guy who makes the decision as Alliance Commander. Which kind of reminds me of all the cases in the original KOTOR game where Bastila would disagree with some dark side choice that you make, but the moment the combat UI activates, she's the first one to swing her lightsaber. In the Old Republic timeline, you have known Lana Beniko for what, a decade or so? Her stance has never really changed relative to you. She's obviously still sort of pro-Empire in some scenarios. She doesn't like her Sith brethren so much. Unlike, say, Kreia from the KOTOR game, she doesn't challenge you to be better or be different. Over the course of the game, Kreia's mentorship is rather frustrating, as you can never please her 100%, and she will always have a lesson which keeps you on your feet. You might argue that that's because you have hit the big leagues, so there's not really much character progression after that, and I get that. That leads to the fact that you will have clearly experienced some level of stagnation. Lana Beniko isn't fluid as a character because she already has her principles and is standing firm to it. That is a good quality in itself, however. It's not about motivation, but about being consistent. But does that make her a morally compelling character? Not so much. You've already seen the Jedi being capable of compassion, of kindness in the Star Wars galaxy. For a Sith Lord, there's a high bar to be praised. It's not really a revolutionary idea. Just because you hold different beliefs and want to be different doesn't mean you are a person of depth or understanding. It's one thing to be different for the sake of being different, and the other to do it because it is truly part of who you are. And the pragmatic Sith Lord trope is quite overdone in the Old Republic era, with the likes of Malgus, Mar, Krovos. Special, but not that hard to navigate. It's akin to how evil Superman has become a popular thing in recent years due to Injustice, Homelander, Omni-Man, just because it's edgy, different, and so some OG Superman fans are getting tired of that as well. I know the Old Republic has been trying to shift the focus to new iterations of characters such as Anparalun, etc., each of them having their own unique origins and trauma, which are quite interesting if you do get to it. But I guess this is an inherent flaw of trying to maintain a good storyline for a game that has almost been going on for 15 years now. Things just get stale, and character development just doesn't feel the same way as the initial few years. And that's it for this video. What do you think? Do you agree with my thoughts, or do you want to simp for the blonde girl? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, if you'd like to see more stuff related to Star Wars, the Old Republic, do check out the rest of my channel.